One idea. One.
I love Carrie. That's what your one's going to say, isn't it?
That's my second idea.
Hello, Doodle and Chat. I'm Carrie Baughcum.
And I'm Mandi Tolen.
And this is the first week of October where we take our Doodle and Chat classy idea from our newsletter and Mandi and I experience it with you. And today we have our one-pager, which is actually a 6-pager because one was just not enough, right, Mandi?
It wasn't.
So Mandi and I know this activity from many sessions that we've seen where somebody will hand out a page of a grid of circles like this and give participants 40 minutes, right, to fill in the circles with as many ideas and things that they can imagine. And so Mandi and I thought, well, how much fun that would be to make that our October one-pager for this month. We've done designs, we've done other fun activities. The visual libraries are starting to get juiced up, right? Starting to flow, starting to pump out all the visual doodles. So why not fill shapes with those ideas, right? But we didn't just want to do the circle one, which I think is the most common, correct?
That's the one I've seen the most.
So I also had seen, I think, probably on the Pinterest, random one. So we included that. And then we thought, well, circles can't be the only shape that there is. So we made you guys all a square one with random squares. And then we included triangles as well. So of course we have this, wonderful one-pager that we put out to you. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, make sure you check the chat below for a link to sign up so that you get access to our newsletter every month. We only send out one newsletter a month, but it's always jam-packed full of all the Doodle and Chat. Awesome. So as Mandi and I are planning, I'm texting Mandi. I'm like, Mandi, what shape should we use for tonight? And Mandi's like, you know what, Carrie, why don't you ask Annabeth? So I asked Annabeth, and her first response is, why don't you use hearts, Mom? And I'm like, that's not one of the shapes. And so I told Mandi what Annabeth said, and Mandi's like, let's do hearts, Carrie. So Doodle and Chat friends, we have triangles, we have squares, we have circles, but we're doing hearts tonight. And we even added the hearts to the doc, the PDFs that are in the link that I'll also put in the show notes. So the heart is like a super bonus, I guess, if you've watched this show.
Super bonus.
The directions for this challenge say to set the timer for 40 minutes. Mandi and I always say there are really no rules.
Nope.
40 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Mandi and I are just going to chat and draw until we run out of ideas to chat and draw about. Does that sound right?
That sounds pretty good. All right. Are we ready?
If you say so.
I say something.
Okay, here we go.
So I think my first one is like any generic animal.
That's so cute.
Any random generic animal.
I never would have thought of that.
That's the first idea that I had.
I did not think of a face. Okay, face. And then it's like, well, how much can you deform the heart? But you're really supposed to not, probably.
Deform the heart? What do you mean?
Like if I were to make this into a mustache and give it a curve, you're probably not supposed to do that.
I don't know. I mean, you said there were no rules.
I did, and I just had another thought, and I'm deciding if I'm going to use it or not. What the heck? I just had to think about it for a second. No. I can't use it.
So how about a fish?
I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
Animal roll tonight. I don't know. I need to come up with something other than animals.
Okay, I'm just going to go for it. This is going to be kind of random, but feeling nervous. Need enough space for her.
I love it.
She's not her curvy self, but you know. Here she goes. I like the fish idea, and you could just keep going with that.
That's a little mermaid tail.
Annabeth would love that.
I know. As I did it, I'm like, my mermaids are not as good as Annabeth's, but it's just a tail. So
yes.
Because I was like, I'm going to do a face. And I'm like, I'm absolutely not doing a face. Absolutely not. Not today.
I just am stuck. I thought this would be so like whimsical and freeing, but I imagine that this is probably what any of the shapes are like. You get like the first like 5 done, and then you're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
You're just flipping through the files of things that are this shape in your head, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I keep thinking about butt crack.
Oh my gosh. I was just going to say, I really wanted to draw one of these like sitting on a toilet.
I know, but I'm like, are we allowed to do that? Then I'm like, can I show Stanley having a butt crack? But I don't know if I can, but you are. And then you made me think of like poop, you know? It's like it's got a little swirl in it, and oh, that makes me think of something else though, too. Okay, here we go. I mean, not quite a heart, but you know. It's a stretch. Oh my God, I love that. It's a little kiss, a little wee little chocolate kiss.
I like it. That's a good one.
Oh, that bumblebee. Clever, clever, clever. I like that.
All right. Do you know what I was going for with this one?
Let's see.
Right here.
It's a bubble. Is it a fart?
It is not, but that's funny. Lips, they look like lips.
They do. You're right.
I was trying to figure out how to make them look like lips, but
maybe no, some teeth coming out. Maybe then it would be biting the bubble, and that wouldn't work, right? I love that though, because like as soon as you said lips, I was like, yes, of course it's lips.
Yeah. I didn't know how to make it look like lips though, but I mean, I looked at it, I was like, they kind of look like lips.
Maybe the lines have to go more up on the lips so that it gives it like you're already committed to the sideways though, so it's kind of like too late, but like giving that the effect of like the wrinkle on the lips that human lips have. I don't know.
Yeah.
I do not know. It's adorable. I love it. I like the heart butt though too.
Sitting on the toilet.
Yes. Oh, I love that one. The little bubble. That's so cute. I'm jealous. You did good.
Coming up with ideas. You got to just think about it. You have to
are.
turn it and look at it. And
I do like that about this. Like it kind of brings us back to our hand tracing where you're right. Turning it around does it. You really need to move it around and give it a different perspective on things. But I also like, and that's something I read about when I was putting together the one pager, is the value of having discussions afterwards about like, I made a heart out of this, or I made a triangle out of this. And then you would say, I made a triangle out of this. And like that kind of aha moment that the connections that you make. And then also like by you drawing the fish and telling and sharing with me, it automatically gives me a future reference for a future drawing.
I don't know what a whale looks like.
I like the whale. And then if you drew his tail coming up behind the dog.
Is that what a whale's tail look like?
No, it's like a leaf and a leaf with a line coming down it. It doesn't make sense. I wouldn't make the heart out of the tail. I would make it separate. Perfect. I love it. I love it. Well, and I think we talked about this back in the day when we had shapes on Doodle and Chat, like the original. And like I could even see like doing like what you did, leaving the hearts more open. And maybe you're going to talk about something that has a theme of love or hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And so now our idea is to write ideas in between things, or even like not do the drawings first, but fill the hearts in with words that have to go along with the idea that you want to take notes on.
Yeah, you could really do that.
Yeah. And then, I mean, even any of the shapes would do that for us, right? Circle, squares. It gives like a solid container for kids. And you could say, okay, fill in 6 of the shapes with words about, oh, I love the t-shirt, with words about what we've read. And then the kids could have fun just drawing around the things after they're done.
It says, I heart Carrie.
I know. I will draw this into a t-shirt too. So we have matching t-shirts.
Oh, perfect.
Because mine says, I heart Mandi.
So we came up with some ideas today.
We did. And like, I feel like the more I look at this and the more I look at yours and the more we talk, the more ideas we have. Like as soon as you did the t-shirt, I'm like, oh my gosh, I could have done a heart topped pencil.
Yeah. I mean, we could have, because we were using it as components of an image where we could have used it like using this. This is on the image.
Yes. And that like totally opened up like my ideas thinking, you know, of what things could become then. Because everybody who doesn't want to be mine pencil topper, you know? Whatever.
So the other thing for me, because as we sat here and we thought, like we talk a lot in our standards of mathematical practice about perseverance. And so saying, hey, I know you don't have an idea right now. Look around at your neighbor's papers. What do you see on their papers? Now, what ideas do you have? So I think it's good for perseverance.
I absolutely agree with you, because I also feel like the hardest part of this for me was when I was stuck and I was watching you draw. But then to be able to say, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, though, Mandi, that looks really great. And then you would say, yeah, I saw this heart and I saw the lips. And then instantly you sharing your thinking with me helped me become unstuck. And that is another great part of perseverance, I'm sure, as well, is asking for help.
Yes.
Or even idea talking, right?
Absolutely.
And see, just as you drew that too, I was like, a carrot. How do we not think of a carrot?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
As you were drawing that, I was like, oh my gosh, the top of a carrot has the heart top too. Boom.
See, just sharing with each other. I always tell people when you share a brain, you have more than two. Because when you share a brain, the combined, you do when you share a brain, my kids, like they can work by themselves and somebody else can work by themselves and they have their ideas, but when they come together, their ideas multiply. So it's more than two brains.
I agree with you. I was giggling at the cuteness of it. All right, Doodle and Chat. Mandi and I cannot wait to see what you guys do with this Doodle and Chat October one-pager idea. The hearts have been added to the collection. We've got squares and triangles and circles and random of all those shapes. Print them out, bring them to your classroom. You don't have to spend 40 minutes. You could just spend 10. It could be it could be a bell ringer. Get out your circle sheet and let's draw for 5 minutes and see what we can think of. Share your ideas and how you're bringing Doodle and Chat into your classroom using hashtag Doodle and Chat so Mandi and I can see all the fun that you have with us every month. If you say so.
Our hearts are filled with things.
Our hearts are filled with things. I'm terrified now.
So it's probably what my kids think all the time too. Like, there she goes with her crazy ideas again.
Hello, Doodle and Chat, and welcome to our October. No, that's not right.